like a buttercup. You're a Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall. Won't stop till I get enough.
All right, so you ready to dive into some seriously cool stuff today? I know you're all about music and those big pop culture moments. So let's unpack something pretty wild, shall we?
Sounds good to me.
Beyoncé surprise performance on Christmas Day. Yep. During the Ravens-Texans halftime show, no less.
Whoa, okay, I did not know about that.
I know, right? And get this, it was streamed live on Netflix. We've got this awesome People magazine article that pretty much captures all the glitz and glam. But we're going to dig a little deeper, go beyond the headlines, uncover some of those hidden gems about this whole football and entertainment mashup.
Whoa, yeah, let's do it.
So let's set the scene a little bit. It's Christmas Day. Ravens are playing the Texans. And, oh yeah, it's all happening in Beyoncé's hometown, Houston.
Hometown crowd, huh? That's got to be electric.
Totally. But here's the thing. What really makes this performance stand out is the context. It wasn't just some holiday spectacle. It was actually like the live debut of songs from her latest album, Cowboy Carter.
Wait, Cowboy Carter? That's a new one, right?
Right. Total curveball. I mean, Cowboy Carter, it's not exactly what you'd expect from Queen Bey.
Yeah.
So tell me, what's the deal with this album?
So Cowboy Carter sees Beyoncé kind of leaning into, well, country music.
No way.
Yeah. And she didn't just dip her toes in the water. We're talking full-on collaboration with some of the biggest names in country.
Like who? Give me names.
Oh, Miley Cyrus, Dolly Parton, Willie Nelson. I mean, the list goes on and on. It's actually pretty impressive.
Whoa. Okay, that explains some of the vibes I'm picking up from the article. They describe Beyoncé riding in on a horse, rocking this, bedazzled bodysuit and chaps. There's even a vintage truck on stage. And the stadium lights, get this, they spelled out "My House."
I've seen the pictures. Pretty wild.
Yeah, for sure. It's like this super deliberate mix of country and, Beyoncé's signature style. It's kind of genius, actually.
Total genius. I mean, she's taking these classic country elements, but weaving them into her own artistic thing, Yep. It's creative. It's always evolving. It's Beyoncé.
And let's not forget about the surprise guest appearances. Shaboozey and Post Malone were there. I'm good with Post Malone, but who's Shaboozey? What's the deal there?
So both of them are actually featured on Cowboy Carter. Shaboozey collaborates on a track called Sweet Honey Buckin', and Post Malone, he's on Levi's Jeans.
Ah, so the halftime show is like this sneak peek into the album's collabs. Smart.
Exactly. Smart move.
Speaking of collabs, we got to talk about Blue Ivy joining Beyoncé for a line dance. Come on, that was the cutest.
Oh, yeah. Super sweet.
So sweet.
But there's actually a little more to it than that. Beyoncé actually changed a lyric in Texas Hold'em to reference Blue Ivy. She's saying, "Then spin me in the middle, blue, I can't read your mind." It's like this personal touch made the whole thing even more special, more Beyoncé.
Wow, I didn't catch that. Okay, so now I'm curious about something else the article mentioned. It talked about Netflix streaming this game. Wasn't this their first time doing live NFL?
Yep. First time, and they chose this game with this halftime show. Come on, there's a reason.
Right. Why this game? Why this halftime show? What's the strategy?
Think about it. It's Christmas Day, a big holiday, families are together, the game's in Beyoncé's hometown, Houston. Plus, you've got the live debut of songs from her new album. I mean, come on, it's like a recipe for a viewership explosion.
Yeah, they hit the jackpot for sure.
Total jackpot. And this wasn't Beyoncé's first time on a Super Bowl stage,
True. Didn't she headline the halftime show back in 2013?
Yep. And then she joined Coldplay in 2016. She's no stranger to these massive stages, and she always uses them to do something groundbreaking, something unforgettable.
So true. This Cowboy Carter debut, it's like a whole new level for her, And speaking of next level, the article drops this little bomb. Beyoncé now holds the most RIAA certifications of any female artist, 103 titles. Should we even be surprised at this point?
I mean, her achievements are insane, but honestly, not really surprised. She's a powerhouse.
She is, and this Christmas performance is like the cherry on top, cementing her place at the top of the music world.
All right, we're back and still unpacking this whole Cowboy Carter thing.
Yeah, she definitely did something special this Christmas.
For sure, but it's way more than just the performance. It's like a statement, like a big statement.
Totally. And this album, this whole Cowboy Carter era,
yeah,
it feels like a whole new chapter for her.
Yeah, you're right. She's always pushing boundaries, but this move into country music, I mean, that's significant. It's like she's expanding her whole empire, her music, her business, everything.
Makes me think about all those big names she worked with on this album. Miley Cyrus, Dolly Parton, Willie Nelson. They're not just collaborators, they're country music royalty.
Yeah, and that's no accident. I think those collabs are strategic, on like multiple levels.
Okay, how so?
Well, first, it gives Beyoncé some serious cred in the country world. It's like she's saying, hey, I'm not messing around here.
Right. She's serious about this.
And second, it opens her up to a whole new audience. Fans who might not have listened to Beyoncé before, now they're hearing her music.
That's a great point. It's like she's bridging these two worlds, the pop world and the country world. And the fact that she chose to do it during a football game on Christmas Day, no less. That's not exactly the typical country music venue.
Exactly. That's the brilliance of it. She's breaking down all these barriers, all these expectations.
And Netflix, they're in on it too, right? This is their first live NFL broadcast. I bet they were stoked to get this game.
Oh, absolutely. Synergy, baby.
Yeah.
Netflix knows the power of Beyoncé. They know the NFL is huge, especially on a holiday like Christmas. They're tapping into a massive audience. It's smart. It's a win for everyone.
Start to see how all these pieces fit together. It's not just music or football or streaming. It's like this giant convergence of entertainment, and Beyoncé's at the center of it all.
Exactly. She's the queen of these high-impact moments, and she always takes it to a whole other level.
It's true. And this makes me think about her Super Bowl performances, 2013, she killed it, and then with Coldplay in 2016, so iconic. How does this Cowboy Carter debut fit into all that?
Okay, so each of those Super Bowl performances, they were huge moments, right? In 2013, it was like, boom, solo artist, she's here. And then 2016, with Coldplay, it showed she can own the stage, even in a group.
Yeah, she didn't fade into the background at all.
Right. And this Cowboy Carter debut, it feels like the next step in her evolution. Mature artist, confident, blending genres effortlessly.
And she's not afraid to take risks, which honestly is what keeps us all hooked.
Totally. But we can't forget about Blue Ivy being in the performance. That was such a sweet moment.
Oh my gosh, so heartwarming. Mother-daughter goals, for real. But what do you think? What's the deeper meaning behind that moment?
It's about more than just being cute, right? I think it's a statement about family, about legacy, and about female empowerment.
Wow, I didn't think about it like that.
It's subtle, but it's powerful. And it definitely adds another layer to the whole performance.
It makes you wonder, what's next for her? Where does she go from here?
That's the exciting part. Who knows? She's always changing things up, always keeping us guessing. This Cowboy Carter era just proves how fearless she is, She's always ahead of the curve.
It's true. So before we go full on future, let's rewind a bit. The article mentioned that the game was on Netflix for a limited time after the live stream. Any thoughts on that?
Smart move. Right. Offering it on demand, they get more people watching, even those who missed it live. And it keeps people talking about Cowboy Carter. It's all about exposure.
Yeah, it's like they're changing how we watch things, how we experience entertainment.
For sure. And this is just the beginning. Streaming is changing everything. More partnerships, more collaborations, more big moments like this.
Exciting times. But hold on. We've talked about a lot, but there's one thing I don't want to miss. The patriotic theme, remember, throughout the whole performance.
Oh, yeah, you're right. We haven't really dived into that yet. That was a big part of it, for sure. How she did that, The country music, the visuals. It's interesting.
It is. I mean, on one hand, you've got Beyoncé, this global superstar. On the other hand, you've got this genre, country music, that's so connected to America.
And then you add in the Christmas element, which is all about unity and, patriotism. It all comes together in a very specific way.
But how did she actually bring that patriotic theme into the performance? Like, what did it look like?
Well, she used red, white, and blue in her outfit, which is a pretty clear nod to the American flag.
Right. Classic.
She also sang Blackbird, the Beatles song. But it's often seen as a symbol of hope and freedom.
I love that song.
Yeah, and don't forget, this was all in her hometown, Houston, so it's got that personal layer, too.
Okay, I'm seeing it now. It's like she's taking these traditional patriotic things and making them her own.
Yeah, and it shows that patriotism isn't just one thing. It can be complex. It can be different for everyone.
The great point. It reminds me of what we were talking about earlier, how Beyoncé connects with so many different people, all while pushing boundaries.
Exactly. It's that sweet spot, commercial success and artistic risk-taking. She's got it down.
Well, we've covered a ton in this deep dive. Before we wrap up part 2, let's recap for our listeners. What are the big takeaways about this Cowboy Carter Christmas debut? Why is it so important?
For me, this is a turning point in her career. She's evolving, she's growing as an artist and as a businesswoman. The genre bending, the partnerships, the creativity, it shows how influential she is and how she keeps reinventing herself.
And she's always staying true to herself.
Exactly. And, I think this also says a lot about where the whole entertainment industry is going. The lines are blurring between music, sports, streaming.
We're seeing it happen right in front of us.
Right. And Beyoncé is leading the way. New collaborations, new ways to reach people, new experiences. It's a whole new world.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
But okay, before we get too lost in the future, let's pause here and take a breath. We'll be right back for the final part of our deep dive. We've got even more to uncover about this performance and what it means for the future of entertainment. And we're back, ready to wrap up our deep dive into Beyoncé's Cowboy Carter Christmas Spectacular.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's been a wild ride. We've covered so much ground already. The guests, Blue Ivy, Netflix, the NFL. But before we say goodbye, got to circle back to something we touched on earlier, the whole patriotic theme running through the performance.
Oh, right. Yeah, we didn't really unpack that fully. Definitely a key part of it all. It's interesting how she brought that in,
Yeah, like on one level, you've got Beyoncé, global icon, and then you've got this genre, country music, that's so tied to America. And it's Christmas Day. The whole thing is about unity, tradition, national pride. But how did she actually weave that patriotic vibe into the performance? Like, what did we see?
Well, there were visual cues. Like she had red, white, and blue in her outfit. Pretty clear nod to the flag there.
Right. Can't miss that.
And musically, she did a rendition of Blackbird, the Beatles song.
Yeah.
It's often seen as a symbol of hope and freedom.
Such a powerful song.
Yeah. And remember, this was all in her hometown, Houston. Adds another layer to it, that personal connection.
It all makes sense now. It's like she's taking these classic patriotic things, but she's filtering them through her own lens.
Exactly. It's not about just replicating. It's about reinterpreting. It shows that patriotism can be so many things, expressed in so many ways.
Such a great point. It goes back to what we talked about earlier, Beyoncé's ability to connect with everyone while still pushing boundaries. She's found this balance, commercial success, and artistic risk-taking.
She's got the magic touch, that's for sure. It's about strategy,
Right.
Understanding the culture, tapping into universal themes, but always with her own unique voice.
It's impressive. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what are the big takeaways for our listeners? Why is this Cowboy Carter Christmas debut so important in Beyoncé's career?
I think this is a major turning point for her. She's evolving as an artist, as a businesswoman, genre bending, those powerful partnerships, pushing creative limits. It shows just how influential she is, and she's always reinventing herself.
But never losing herself.
That's the key. And this performance, it also reflects where the whole entertainment industry is headed. Music, sports, streaming, it's all blending together.
The lines are definitely blurring.
And Beyoncé's leading the charge. New collaborations, new ways to reach people, new experiences. It's a whole new world.
It's so exciting to think about what's next for her, and for all of us, really. This Cowboy Carter Christmas debut, it's not just a performance. It's a glimpse into the future of entertainment. It shows that anything is possible.
Right. The boundaries are constantly shifting, and there's so much more to explore.
Well said. And on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Hope you had fun, learned a few things, and maybe even got inspired to do your own deep dives. Push your own boundaries. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those deep dives going.
Sound the alarm. I'm coming up. We'll have a ball. I'm sweet like a buttercup. You're bubbly